right there. I should have been doing that all along, but I don't know. Anyway, and start figuring out how to get all the heck out of boxes versus the stuff I'm going to try to take. And what is in front of me, and I've got boxes inside that I can start loading up wire with. It's all of the tree. It's nothing too exciting goes on, which I'm going to grab all of that, but first I might be able to resell that, and then wire. So yeah, some of this I just don't know what kind of condition it's going to be in. Kind of need to look through it before I take it to the storage unit. Stuff like this, that's step on too much. And hopefully that's all full of wire. Start throwing this stuff in. So this is literally going to be days and days. So much stuff. I gotta tell you, for all you scrappers out there, I don't care if you do, I have a whole new appreciation for anybody that scraps, because it's so time consuming, so involved beyond what people micro-scrap into a certain degree, and some people take it a lot further, and that is just a ton of work. But you end up recycling, you get through, you're your own boss, you don't need to do anything. That's why I stacked this so nice. It's because dumpster, but I can do a lot of them. Just make sure I'm not missing stuff. It's all plastic, so that'll go there. And this company knows I'm here because in my videos. But these things are, but there's a lot of them. Wire. I don't know if it could just be aluminum. Probably not. Sorry that so many of them, and for you new viewers, are in this dumpster. See, I can take all this stuff if I can fit it. It's been amazing, and after I'm done with this, usually at the end of the night, in other dumpsters, I'm going after this stuff and then kind of. So yeah, we're gonna get line it around the top, I guess. But yeah, back to the scrappers. If you watch, I'm sure a lot of you watch other people that, yeah, they're working for their money. That's for sure. I think it's much better than the corporate world for a lot less money, and I've said that before, and I stick to that for now. I can just, that's wood. Shouldn't bother with this, but I need to look underneath, and there's no point in moving it twice. Pollen here has been horrible. It's kicking my butt. Normally I don't get bothered by allergies. So hopefully no one will come by here. I've been here for hours before, and no one so much as drove by. So we'll see how that goes again. Else new in the box. This too, but it's been taped, taken apart. Alright, some wire. New. end up with... Oh. So I'll just take them out now. That's all that's in a lot of them, but sometimes that stuff sells. This thing might take, depending, that's kind of crushed, but we'll look at it later. Now these, put that in there for now. Stick in that so I can throw it just in the trash. At home. Alright, that's just more metal to go through. These are packaged pretty well, so, but inspect them. Be sniffling probably if I haven't been already. Alright, so we're cleaning up pretty good here, loading this stuff up. So all this Extron stuff, I've looked it up. That name sells. I don't know. It is a ginormous pain packaging. So if I don't sell those in bulk, it is going to be extremely time. I mean, probably could sell this stuff, so I will keep it. So a lot of people are contacting me or ask me about the buckets of hardware. I'm going to start saving this stuff, and I'm even going to keep it in the packages like this so this stuff stays together for our kids. So, first few buckets will go to them, and then if people are willing to come here and G.I. Joe stickers. That I'm still thinking about putting on the roof, but I've got all this and this, which is mostly Extron stuff. Cable pass-through AAPS. This is like a little plate. I don't even think it's aluminum. It might be steel. And there's very little value there if I have to empty them all out. But I'll probably do it. Okay, I think they're going to have pretty wide eyes when they're done, or they look at this tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to get out off camera and put all this away, and then come back in here with my boxes to get all this wire. I'm wondering if I have room for that inside. That is really heavy, but then I found this. It's not, it's still got the plastic on it, but I don't think I'm going to do anything with that other than scrap it out. So it's got fan unit on it, and cords to the fans are still there, but I don't think that's something that I can sell. It's got the lock, it's got the keys with it, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be even something, but I think this is just going to end up being scrap. That's probably about, see, yeah, look at all this. Just grab it all and deal with it over the next weeks. The string tangled and everything. This trash is all stuff in little packages. rest of that box. Someone just drove by. Okay, that's a lot of stuff in there. Go ahead and throw these on the bottom too. Alright. I've commented a lot about how much waste this is, and I agree. I'm sure justify doing this. Primarily cost. It's just easier to throw it away than to try to sell it. And if you sell it cheap, then they're not going to sell their new product for the, pay for this to be transported to another location. Why they do stuff like this, but one-time use plastic and everything. That's just gonna have to wait. But I am conscious about this stuff and try to be. This stuff on the bottom. But not make it so heavy. Go in there again. That's a piece of it. That's to that. That's long weight. Another box. So that's going to have to go on the roof first. Then those. And then that if I can't fit it in. Alright, so that's what the back looks like. This just barely fit in with the wheel well there. And then all of this is pretty much jam-packed. Got a few areas, if I'm careful, that I can put some of those steel racks, but I'm going to be very conservative about that. I don't want to scratch up the inside of my Jeep anymore. And now I need to deal with what's going on top. Definitely getting there. So this is next. It's going to fit right inside the rack. So it is very heavy and awkward. So hopefully I can transition it up there somehow. I think I'm going to have to get out of the dumpster to do that. Yeah, it's not going to just go right over unless I don't want to stand there. Those are going up top. I am not thrilled about doing this. These are going to have to be ratcheted down. And they will move. So far again, but this will be try to fit this in extrusion, so we will make room for that somehow. And see, even after all that short. One piece that makes a little bit of it, so I'm not too worried about that. I've got 4 rails, OEM rails, instead of 2. So that's what that's going to look like. So, go up. Yeah, I think this is all going to fit. I think I got, show you this after one. Remote, don't need that. That's plastic. Plastic. This is actually junk. And the rest is, oh, I didn't miss a little piece of wire. But I even remembered that white rack thing, the drawer thing. So that is little stuff like that, but what do you think they're going to think and say when they open up that bay door? If you're going to get it all, you may as well. Yeah, that was that plastic stuff. So that's what I'm going to finish doing before I step out. Good morning, and newer boxes there. I've got a ton of wire boxes in here and all the metal stuff. Got that mostly full, and then the rest of the stuff went up here. So all my stuff is my first load here. So this was the stovetop, that's mostly nuts, and then probably the best item are the compressors. So I've got 5 of those. That's probably about 80 pounds at 20 cents a pound, so that's $40 right there, so not too bad. And then all the green boards and things like that I found from stuff in there. So that was my first load. That might have been in a different video because last night lunch, but it was quite a bit, and it is stacked in there. So I've got to sort that. This is probably between 200 and 300 pounds, probably closer to 300%. The other half is 55%. This is number 1, this green stuff here. But sometimes when I go in, he does give me better pricing depending on the time of day and what's going on and his mood, I think. So here is everything that is still in the box. That is what was on the roof. That's the Samsung refrigerator door. I looked that up and I looked closely at that box. It has not been open. That's potentially $100 if it'll sell on eBay plus shipping. This I'm not quite sure about yet, but I'm going to have to inspect it. All of this stuff is new in the box. This whole stack and this whole stack are the same thing. $20 to $40 on eBay. They are selling, but they're not selling that fast. That people are buying that many of them. So it could be inventory I'm sitting on for a while if I manage to get a bite on a few of them. Then all of this stuff here, this, and then all the way back here. I've looked up miscellaneous things like those little boxes. I've got to inspect those closely because a lot of them have been open. They might have pulled something that they needed out of those, but the ones that aren't open, they're going for $12, $14 a piece plus shipping. And I've looked at some of this other stuff, and it varies from like these bigger boxes here from $40 to $100. But like I said, it's slow-moving product. Luckily, I've got the storage unit. I just need to get this stuff listed like everything else. So let me show you where all the wire is. Over here, this is all the boxes of wire. That in the back, that's 3 high, 2 wide, except for that top box. So that is a good 300+ pounds of wire and the small Extron parts. So a lot of sorting that I need to do there, and that is definitely worth some money. Probably in wire, at least $150, if not more. And then anything that I can sell. If not, I've got to take it all out of the packages and break it down. Down here, under this tarp is all those aluminum poles that I found a couple of weeks ago. I haven't even looked at them yet. They're just going to sit outside and come out. I just don't have time to deal with that kind of stuff. And then back there, still that yellow stuff that I found here is barely passable. And there's even more stuff around the corner. A lot of stuff, and I had a lot of fun going through it. This part here is going to be the worst to do this, other than having fun doing it. So thanks for watching again, and I'll talk to you later.